Now let's talk about this Capricorn new moon. Mm. So, as always, new moons are a coming together, a union of the sun and the moon in the same spot in the sky. And when that happens, we can create, we can manifest, we can join forces with the universe and really start to call forward what it is that we desire in life. Okay. This is why many new moon rituals generally focus on affirmations, manifestation, what we're wanting to call forward. But new moons, if you think about it too, is the sun and the moon coming together. It's your shadow and your awareness coming together. And so sometimes things can get a little bumpy when those energies are sitting in the same spot. But I want to call your attention to the remembrance and the knowing that the obstacles and the challenges that we face in our lives are here to help us remember the truth of who we are, to give us an opportunity to reclaim our power, to create a situation that feels better for us, whether that involves changing the way we talk to ourselves, believing something different about life, um, setting up better boundaries with certain people. There's always something we can do to empower ourselves when we are facing an obstacle or a challenge in our life. And so, if at this new moon time, like I was yesterday, and I know I'm not alone, faced with the illumination sun of your shadow together, please know that there is nothing wrong with you, that this energy is here to serve you no matter how bad it feels. And I know sometimes it feels like crud, but trust and open yourself up to the possibility that this is a massive creation point for you to manifest, to affirm the life you desire, the life you truly want to live, and that this is an opportunity for you. So take that opportunity. We are going to take it together in this moment, in this creative ritual. We are going to take this opportunity together to start calling forward the life we desire. And we're going to do that by creating what I lovingly refer to as our new commandments. Commandments is a strong word, right? Some folks associate the word commandments with the Bible and the Christian tradition, but I really want you to break free from any ownership over this word by a religious entity and allow yourself to hear it. A commandment. What is a command? A command is when you declare something to be so. A command is a point of power. A command is telling the universe, this is what I want. This is what I will stand for. This is the only thing I will accept. You are commanding it to be so. And I talk a lot about commanding because I've learned a lot in my experience and in practicing different ways of co-creating with the universe. And I find that when I command, when I settle for nothing less, when I tell the universe, I understand the power that I have within me to create my reality, that I have because I'm a piece of creation. And so I command it to be so. I say this is how it's going to be. And Capricorn, the energy of this new moon right now, is uniquely positioned to play well with commands, right? Capricorn can be a very controlling energy. It can be a very leader type energy. Sure, there's shadow aspects to that, right? Having too much structure, too much control, trying, to manipulate things to be a certain way, which is why we always want to practice balance. And what is the balance of Capricorn? Is Cancer, that loving, nurturing, mothering energy, that soft feminine receptivity. So when we balance out our commands, our demands of leadership, our responsibilities, and we back them with Cancer, we back them with, I'm doing this out of love for myself. I'm doing this because I want a life that nurtures me. I'm doing this and I'm commanding this and I'm leading this because I care, Cancer. Your commands can only lead you towards your highest and greatest good, and they won't harm anyone in the process. So we're going to back our commands today with love and nurturing, which is why we center in the heart first. We come home to ourselves first. So we make sure that we are not just letting our ego run the show or our hurt feelings run the show, but we are actually letting our higher self be embodied in this moment and command the reality it desires, that you desire, right? So that's what we're going to do today. And this new moon is so juicy. We've got Uranus in play. We've got Neptune in play. All possibilities are on the table anytime Uranus is in the picture. Dimension shifting, you want a timeline jump, you want to do all that crazy, amazing quantum stuff, and you've got Uranus on your side, that's when it's going to happen. That's when it's possible, right? That's when you really have the backing of the universe to say, look, let's go. Let's shift. All right. And then you have Neptune, this energy of dreamy possibilities, of anything you can imagine is within reach for you, to allow your imagination, your connection to the divine, your spiritual essence to really lead and guide the show. Now we're talking. Now we're talking about creating a life that really is alignment with who we want to become and who we truly already are. We're just physically catching up to that version of ourselves. So allow yourself to think big today. Okay? Allow yourself to move beyond New Year's resolutions. Boring. I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to do that. I get it. We all have little goals and we all have things we want to accomplish. But this new moon with Uranus and Neptune and all this energy and the shifts going on the planet right now is saying, but what do you really want? What does your soul want? What does your cosmic awareness really want for you in this lifetime? Go there. Grow bigger. Command it to be so. So we're going to move away from this idea of resolutions. We're already resolute. We know who we are. We know what we're here to do, or we have some sort of sense of awareness of that, right? So we can trust our resoluteness. We got it. We're sacred artists. We're on this creative journey. We're creating a life that has impact, that shifts people, that is fulfilling and balanced. We got it. What we want now are some commands that are going to point us in that direction, really build the structure, Capricorn, of that new reality. Okay. So it is important for us to take a look at what isn't working for us and start to transmute those into things that feel really good and supportive and pull us up where we belong. This is a thing about dissonance. I've talked about this in other videos that I've done. When I talk about creative resistance, when I talk about things that don't feel good as you're creating on your creative journey, they are messengers. They are there to tell you, if you've ever played that game Operation, and you're trying to go for the little thing inside, but there's this wall around it. And when you hit the wall, it buzzes. That's resistance. That's when it doesn't feel good in your body. That's when you feel disrespected. You're like, how could you talk to me that way? Or your energy is disturbed because you're out of bounds. You're out of alignment with some kind of truth, whether it's the truth that, yeah, you're right, you don't deserve to be spoken to that way, or yeah, you're right, you do need to love yourself more, that talking to yourself that way is no bueno. So when we feel disturbances or we look at things we don't like about our lives or about a way of thinking that we have or believing, or something like that, a creative block that we're experiencing, that is good awareness. The only step that I don't see folks taking a lot of the time is reversing it, transmuting it, turning it into gold, turning it into something, perform the alchemy to create from that place. And that's what we're going to do, because the old way of, the Old Testament, I guess, going back to the word commandment, version of commandments are all no's, right? Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, that's a great starting place. But what are you really getting at when you say don't do this? What do you want? If you have children, positive reinforcement, or if you work with children, positive reinforcement works a heck of a lot better than just no, 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 no. Well, what do you want them to do? Don't do that isn't as effective as, it would be great if you could blah, blah. It would be wonderful if you could pick up your toys. It would be fantastic if your plate was cleared off and taken to the kitchen, rather than don't leave this, don't leave that. So we're going to practice some alchemy today. And like every day, we're going to grab our notebooks. And we're going to start writing down some things that we want to stop. I want you to really think about, first of all, what has been coming up into your awareness as of late, because the moon always sends messages right on time. So the days leading up, the 3 or 4 days leading up to this new moon, what has been coming up for you? What has been showing up in your awareness? What maybe shadow aspects of yourself have you been witnessing? Are you talking to yourself in a poor way? Are you finding it hard to believe in a possibility for yourself? Is there a relationship that's causing conflict in your life? What is it about that? Is it a disrespect thing? Is it a boundaries thing? What is it that's being brought into your awareness? Pay attention, okay? In addition to more recent issues, think about broadly on your whole creative journey, where you want to go. And it means like, I gotta stop. So say let me give you an example. Okay, Spirit, give me an example. If I'll use my example. Okay, my example is, well, I want to get my story published one day. Okay, well, that means I need to stop allowing everything else to take priority over my writing. I need to stop throwing what I love under the bus, last priority, everyone else's needs. Okay, so that would be something I want to stop. In this example, I'm doing progress on that. We're getting there. But that would be an example you might want to think about. So you can think about more broadly your whole creative journey and like the dreams and aspirations. Use that, tap into that Neptune, allow anything to be possible for you right now. What would you need to stop in order to get to that place? So you can follow the 10 commandments, meaning like you can choose 10 things. You could write 5 things. You could write 15 things. This is your ritual, okay? I'm just giving you a little practice. Make this your ritual. Add whatever into it feels good to you. If you got an intuitive nudge during the meditation, apply it now. Whatever it is that you need. So we're going to take some time and we're going to dive into that first step. So we're identifying what we want to stop, what we need to stop doing, what we won't do anymore, right? You could think of these as boundaries. I'm not going to do this anymore with this person. I'm not going to song and dance with them. I'm not going to veg out and watch the news all day and make myself feel depressed anymore. Like whatever it is, big or small, directly related to creativity or some other area of your life, it doesn't matter. Trust that what's coming through for you right now is needed, necessary for your highest good, and allow that to come through. So let's give ourselves a good 10 minutes to do that. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, you can pause the video and take your time to write your messages. So starting to get to a place where you can pause or stop if you're done. And again, if you'd like to share one or two to help inspire others, go ahead. Oh, good. We got some examples coming through. Yay. Holy Trinity 88 says, stop holding on to ideas, people, places, things, versions of myself, right? So that like attachment energy. Wings of Jewels shares, oh, oh, you forgot what the activity was. Okay, no problem. No problem. So what we were doing was just writing down a list of things that we want to stop. So behaviors we want to stop, or ways of thinking we want to stop, ways of being we want to stop. For example, I wrote down, stop being afraid to state my needs. Stop focusing so much on the outcomes. Stop discounting or discrediting my abilities. So you might have similar, you might have different. Itty Bitty says, I'm ready to let go of the mindless ways I speak badly of myself. Like saying I sound like an idiot, right? We just so flippantly say things. So yeah, bringing some mindfulness into that. Thank you for that share. I think a lot of us can relate to that. Indeed. Okay. So we've got our little list of behaviors we want to stop, mindsets we want to stop, ways of being we're interested in stopping. And now we're going to switch them. So for me, as I was explaining, it can help to pay attention to the no's, but only insofar as it leads you to a yes. It leads you to what you do want, right? So when we're faced with a discomfort, or we're faced with resistance, or we're faced with something we don't like, it's a messenger. It is telling you, okay, well then you must, since you don't like this, you must want the opposite of this or something else from this, right? So we can begin the alchemy process by taking what we don't want, what we don't like, and sitting with its opposite, sitting with, well, what is at the other end of that spectrum? Okay, if everything is on a pole, then what's on the other end of this pole? And it might be very straightforward, right? For example, the one I gave, being afraid to state my needs as something I want to stop. Well, then the opposite of that would be stating my needs boldly and with confidence, right? Assuming other people want to support me, stating my needs. Um, so it can be really simple. If you have a bit more of a complex thing you want to stop, you might have to dive a little deeper to figure out what its opposite might be. But give yourself some time. We're going to give ourselves some time to flip all of these no's and nots into yeses, and things we do want. Okay. So, yeah, I love Rebecca said, stop hiding my magic and who I am because of others calling me a witch in a negative way, letting go of being afraid to be seen for who I am. Right. So instead, and if it helps to have like a start to your sentence, think about, instead, I will do this. Instead, I commit to doing this. So think about in your mind what you will do in opposition to the things you no longer wish to do. So again, I will give us a good little 10 minutes to sit with that and switch all of our statements into positive behaviors, moving towards what it is that we do want. So you should have a pretty healthy list by now. I like that. Okay, Wings of Jewels sharing, I will be confidently asking for help, right? Confidently asking for help. A lot of us, I think, being called into more kindness and compassion with ourselves right now. That's definitely a lot of my list that I made privately before this session. Okay, so here's the fun part. Not that wasn't fun. I just mean, I guess we gotta take it to the next level. Okay, so now that we have our list of things we do want, it is important for us all, and I'm going to do this not on camera, but I'm going to do it in my private life. It is important that we take another step with this, that we don't just let it sit in a journal somewhere and like, yeah, that was nice, felt good, and forget about it. Remembering that this new moon is giving us the opportunity, this Capricorn energy is giving us the opportunity to command, to say, no, this is how it's going to be. Get a little snarky with the universe. No, it's going to be like this. Okay. And really solidify these commandments throughout the year. So it's not a one time I wrote it down and I forget it. These are like your rules for living now. Your rules for living. Okay. So what I encourage you to do is to take all of these statements, get yourself either a fresh piece of paper or go onto your computer, wherever you want to do it, or maybe you want to write it in a sketchbook and you can doodle around it and stuff, make it pretty. But rewrite these statements real nice, real clean, and in front of each one, you can go old school and go with the thou shall, da da da, if you want it to sound really like epic and mystical. You can just say I will, or you can try to, if you want to feel more comfortable switching it to present, you can say I am. Or what I like, because of this new moon energy with Capricorn, I commit to. I commit to. So it's not just a big statement about what I want. I'm going to say, no, I commit to boldly stating my needs and assuming they will be met. So commit to these things, state them in the strength and firmness of Capricorn, and put them somewhere you will see them all year long. If you're like me, you carry a bag around with you and you have little things written on them. Emergency notes to self. Okay. This is my emotional management questionnaire. If you ever want to know about that, let me know, because this has saved my life many a time. So you might have it be a note in your bag. You might have it on a wall somewhere where you can read it every day. At minimum, put it on paper and read it tonight at the new moon. If after that it goes in a drawer and you never look at it again, I still think that the energetic potency of this new moon will carry it forward. But if you really want to up the ante and you really want to double down on your commitments, start reading it regularly, whether it's daily, once a week, every time you sit down at your altar, whatever it is. Reaffirm your commitments throughout this year. And remember that you are creating your life. You are commanding what you desire to be so. And when we command, we tell the universe, I am aware of my power, my creation abilities, the leadership of my own life, my ability to lead my own life. And I'm taking that power right now and I'm saying that this is how it's going to be for me. So allow that to guide you throughout the year. Holy Trinity, you tapped in on the 10. Yeah, so the 10 is a beautiful, beautiful number. A beginning and an end. It's a very solid number. But whatever number feels good to you, everybody is at a different place in their journey. So yeah, let it be significant to you. Let it feel really good to you, and let these commandments guide you on your journey. And if you, like me, struggled recently with some things in your life, I highly, highly recommend today's channel message that came through. Was 16 minutes long. They are usually less than 10 minutes. This one didn't stop. So I would love it if you feel called and it feels good to you. Go onto YouTube, watch the channel message for today. It was very soothing, I feel, to those of us who struggled a bit energetically these last few days, and very affirming. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's creative ritual for the Capricorn new moon. I will get this video edited and uploaded to YouTube so you can watch the replay without the long pauses. And otherwise, I will see you next week. What is next week? Let me remind myself what I'm doing next week. Oh, yes. Yes, next week, the 17th, right? Because usually I go live Wednesdays. We're back on schedule. This week was a little blip. But Wednesday, live, channeled messages. I'm going to tune in on Sunday to download whatever's coming through. But I'm also, in advance, I know, going to make an announcement about a very, very special offering that's coming forward that is just going to kick off a new chapter for Awakened Creators. I am so excited to share it with you. If you're looking for an opportunity to really up level this year and step into your power as a sacred artist and step into your creative journey with big old boots on and say, I'm here. I'm going to do my thing. This is happening for me. This is going to be an incredible opportunity for us all. So tune in next week. You'll hear more about it on all channels. And yeah, those of you who will join me, we're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to start something incredible together that I'm really excited about sharing with you. So I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you all so much. Love right back at you. Bye.